So I just returned from the 2023 Chicago Auto Show if you guys have been following along with my coverage, and I got my first hands-on look at the 2023 Chevy Colorado as well as the GMC Canyon. Now I was afraid with the Colorado Trailboss in specific that the interior material quality as well as the overall packaging that Chevy chose to go along with the Trailboss was going to be a little bit odd and the interior was going to look a little bit cheap. And unfortunately that seems to be the case with the Trailboss trim in specific. Well, today I want to go over kind of my ideal spec with the 2023 Colorado Trailboss, including what features maybe should be standard on this trim level, what features should be optional as part of a package or kind of a standalone option group, and go over some theoretical pricing if Chevy was to include these options and features either as standard equipment or optional features. And if you've been following along the last few days with your favorite creator here on YouTube, then you might have seen them starting to hint at or post additional content from the press drive out in California. Now the embargo date for driving impressions and kind of the overall reviews of the vehicle, I believe is this upcoming Friday around 9 a.m. So definitely keep an eye out from your favorite creator that is there at the event, as I'm sure they'll have a video posted right at 9 o'clock when the embargo lifts. And unfortunately, as much as I would have really enjoyed being there, I didn't get invited.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
But anyways, I've been following along with this content coming out of California and as well as the recent auto shows across the country. And I've seen many comments of the Trailboss trim in specific that seem to agree with my overall viewpoint of this trim level, in that it might be a little bit too bare bones on the interior as well as the exterior of that between the Z71 as well as even the fully loaded LT Convenience 3 Colorados. Now, if you guys aren't aware of how the trim level or trim structure works of the new 2023 Colorados, essentially it starts out with the base work truck, goes up to the LT. The Trailboss sits between the LT and the Z71, and then the top kind of performance as well as the overall equipment group of the Colorados is of course the ZR2, which gets a bunch of extra mechanical off-road goodies, a 3-inch lift kit versus the 2 on the Trailboss, front and rear locking differentials, a bunch of stuff, so it's really kind of the top dog. But that is the overall trim lineup and structure of the new Colorado lineup. Now the Trailboss trim in specific is the only other Colorado to get the wide body stance outside of the ZR2. It includes a 2-inch lift, a wide body with fender flares, not the actual wide body metal flares found on the GMC Canyon, the sister truck of this vehicle. And then of course it gets the mechanical aspects of the Z71, including the G80 limited slip locking rear differential, drive modes, as well as a 2-speed transfer case, similar to that of the Z71 as well. But of course the main mechanical differences between the Trailboss and the Z71 is going to be the 2-inch lift, as well as the wide and tracked or the wide body stance. Now, if you look at current pricing for the Trailboss at launch, a base Trailboss is going to come in just over $38,000, including destination, and a fully loaded one, including all of the optional convenience packages, technology, safety, as well as the trailering equipment groups, and then the spray-on bed liner is going to come in just over $42,000, including destination. So there's not a big spread between base model and fully loaded Trailboss like there is in some of the other Colorado trim levels, such as the LT as well as the Z71, which could have upwards of a $6,000 or $7,000 spread from entry-level base all the way up to fully loaded. So that is kind of the overall view of the Trailboss in the trim lineup. And you probably won't see too many base entry-level Trailbosses around the $38,000 to $39,000 price point, just because cruise control, believe it or not, is not standard equipment.
What?
But anyways, moving on to the point of this video, I want to go over some of the features I would add to the Trailboss to kind of bring it up closer to a fully optioned LT Convenience 3 or a lesser equipped Z71, Z71 base, or maybe Z71 Convenience 2 package in terms of not only the interior aspects, but also some of the features and options as well. So the first thing I would do is pretty much make the first option package on the Trailboss the Convenience 1 package standard equipment. That is the package that includes the cruise control, the manual sliding rear window, as well as the rear window defrost. It's a very cheap package. It's only a few $100s, and overall that is just stuff that I believe should be standard equipment, especially cruise control on a vehicle of this price point. I mean, a $38,000 truck that doesn't have standard cruise control to me is crazy. Chevy makes cruise control standard on their like $20,000 Trax and Trailblazers, but the fact that they haven't made it standard on a $38,000 Colorado is just crazy to me. but at least the Z71 has standard cruise control, and I believe all of the Canyon lineup has standard cruise control as well. So to me, they should just make that standard equipment, and that whole package to me makes sense to just make standard, given the overall price point is extremely low. Now when it comes to some of the equipment that is not available standard or optional on the Trailboss, I would first make LED lighting available in its standalone lighting package or as part of maybe a convenience 2 package on the Trailboss. I think anymore people are expecting very decent lighting setups, given many people have had LED or HID headlights for 10 years or more now, and especially if you're coming from a competitor vehicle or something that has just had good headlights for quite some time. I think it's just unacceptable to have to force people into halogen reflector setups, especially at a near $40,000 price point. So I think that Chevy should at least offer this as a standalone option or as part of an additional convenience group on the Trailboss, given that technology has come down to a fairly low price point, that they could easily offer this as not only a standalone option, but maybe part of an additional option group. Now similar to this, I would make heated seats, heated steering wheel, heated side mirrors, as well as the 120 volt outlets, either inside or both, the one in the bed as well, available on this trim level. Like, I see this as being a somewhat outdoorsy oriented trim, you know, kind of adventurous, go off-roading, go in the middle of nowhere, go hiking, stuff like that. So to me, it makes sense to have the 120 volt outlets available, not only maybe on the interior, but also the bed mounted one as well, for smaller accessories that people might want to power while they're camping, kind of going off-road on the trails or whatnot. The fact that this is not available at all is kind of strange to me, given kind of the target audience of this truck. And the fact you can't get heated seats, heated steering wheel either is just a little bit strange in the overall packaging. So those are some of the features I would definitely change and make available, not standard equipment, but definitely make them optional, maybe as part of the same Convenience 2 package. And heated side mirrors actually are available on the Trailboss, but they make you get the safety equipment group, which included, I believe, the rear parking sensors and the rear cross traffic alert, and maybe a couple other tech options as well. So I think they should just rather bundle this a little bit differently, not force people to get the safety group, which again, they might not want the additional technology inside of their overall fairly basic work truck interior. And speaking of the interior, like I showed in my video and other press and media have showed, the inside is very basic, very similar to that of the 2023 Colorado work truck. Now, of course, you still get the nice 8-inch digital gauge cluster, the 11-inch HD color touchscreen with Google integration, but outside of this, it's pretty much a hard plastic interior, and the seats are going to come cloth as standard, and there are options to get kind of the synthetic leather or of course rear leather if you go up to the Z71 and ZR2 trucks. So overall, the interior is very basic, and I would definitely like to spruce that up a little bit, maybe similar to that of a LT Convenience 3 package or maybe a base Z71. So to do this, I would just have some more soft touch materials on the armrest, the door cards, maybe across the dash as well, just to make it a little bit nicer on the inside. And along with my heated steering wheel suggestion earlier in this video, typically all heated steering wheels are made of a real leather or kind of a synthetic leather material. So that would kind of take away that touch point and make it definitely a soft touch material. I think leather wrapped steering wheels are definitely always nice to have in vehicles, whether or not it's kind of a more off-road spec or not. Many Jeep Wranglers come standard with a leather steering wheel as well as a heated steering wheel. So I would make that kind of a soft touch point, and I think that would solve that aspect anyway. If it became heated, it would come typically leather wrapped or synthetic leather wrapped. Now, I did actually see one very good comment from Tim on his video, and I believe his colleague that he was kind of paired up with at the media event launch. Tim is from Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. I did meet him in Chicago, so nice to meet you, Tim, if you by chance are watching this video. But his colleague that he was kind of paired with at the media launch suggested the Trailboss and some of the other off-road versions of the Colorado should have upfitter or auxiliary switch options as an accessory, and I totally agree with this. You don't need many auxiliary switches. You don't need like 6 like some of the Ford trucks do, but a solid 4 auxiliary switches on the Trailboss as part of, again, a standard option group or a standalone accessory package definitely would be nice to see for people that want to upfit LED lighting. Maybe they want to put an aftermarket bumper on down the road and put a front winch on it. They just want to basically add additional options and features on easy to use auxiliary switches rather than using aftermarket wiring. So that is definitely a good suggestion and one that I agree with. And outside of this, I don't think there's too much more I would actually change on the Trailboss. I think it's fairly well positioned in the lineup. There's just a few things I would like to see added or available as options just to make it just that much better than it currently is. So now that we know some of the aspects and features that I would add or change, now let's take a look at pricing, or at least theoretical pricing, of these additional costs that go into the truck. So if we consider a fully loaded Trailboss as it is, kind of tops out at just over $42,000, including all the available option groups and packages, I would expect some of the changes that I have mentioned in this video to add maybe another $2,000 to $3,000 to that price point. I don't think it'd be very substantial. I think the LED lighting on the outside would actually be some of the most substantial changes, along maybe with the heated seats and stuff. But again, Chevy already offers that, at least I believe, with the cloth seats in the LT trim level. So again, that shouldn't be too much of a change. So to come in right around the $44,000 to $45,000 price point, fully optioned with the theoretical option packages kind of that I presented in this video, I don't think that is too out of the realm of possibility. And I think that's really realistically where the price would be positioned if Chevy were to add these features. Now this does actually get a little bit tricky because the GMC lineup, if you guys have kind of researched and followed my videos, the AT4 base trim level starts just over $45,000 and includes all and more of the features and options that I would like to see on the Trailboss. Now, of course, every Canyon has the 2-inch lift, the wide body stance, and the locking rear differential on the AT4 and higher. So that's basically everything that the Trailboss has and more for the same price point. However, the base AT4 does not have the heated steering wheel. That's part of the premium package, and it does not have all the additional technology and safety packages that I mentioned in the fully loaded Trailboss pricing at $42,000. So if you add that onto a base AT4, you're essentially looking at the upper $40,000 price range, $48,000, $49,000, $50,000 with everything fully loaded. So if they could make a Trailboss come in with the added features at about $45,000, I still think there is a segment of people that would consider the Trailboss over that of the GMC lineups that come standard or optional with all of these features that I've been mentioning. So again, if you kind of follow along, I think there is still a very narrow window that they could price this truck at while adding some features and options that people would still pick this over maybe going that of the GMC route. So hopefully you guys understand what I'm trying to say. I just essentially want to make the Trailboss a little bit less like the work truck and more like an LT or maybe a Z71 Colorado. But I'm really interested to hear your guys' ideal spec as far as a Trailboss Colorado goes. Would you like to see a few more things that are similar to mine? Was I leaving out a few options and features that are already available on the other Colorados that you would like to see on this trim level? So leave all that down in the comment section below. I'm really curious to see what your guys' ideal spec of a 2023 Colorado Trailboss is. And hey, let me know if it's already an ideal spec in which truck you ordered. I know there's a lot of people out there that have already placed orders and should be receiving them in 4 to 6 weeks now. And some people out there have already said their trucks have been built already, which is very cool to see, just waiting on shipping and processing. So let me know your ideal spec down in the comment section below. Definitely interested to hear it. Make sure to check out some of my other videos from the Chicago Auto Show, being hands-on with the vehicles, as well as my trim comparison videos where I go over the features and options and compare trims of both the Colorado and Canyon to each other and kind of distinguish which one may be the best trim for you. And overall, I hope this content is very helpful and interesting to anybody interested in these new mid-size trucks. I am very excited. I don't know if I've been ever very excited for a regular product launch from a manufacturer that isn't kind of like a sporty, kind of a unique vehicle, but to me, I am extremely excited for the 2023 Colorado and Canyon, and cannot wait to see them in real life on dealership lots, take them for a drive and stuff like that. So there's definitely going to be more content coming here in the future. It's just a matter of time. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Let me know your ideal spec down in the comment section below. Make sure to subscribe if you guys are not already subscribed, and check out some of my other content once again here on the channel. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed as always, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.